Here's an example of how we might use this in science, such as sorting and classifying. So I might ask, provide me 5 examples of kinetic energy. There you go, and here we go. We got those. Okay. And I could certainly just say, like, I don't need all of these explanations, right? I could just take these things and then I could say, uh, provide me with 5 examples of potential energy. Okay, and then we get this right here, these 5, and we can give these to students in an activity and have them sort and then justify. And we could take this even further if I do something like provide me with an example of kinetic and potential energy. If this is the type of prompt that I want. Maybe I should say, provide me with an example of both kinetic and potential energy. Maybe I'll switch that. Provide me with an example of both kinetic. Oh, all right, it did it. Okay, we'll gonna let this go here, and I could just say a ball thrown upward into the air, right? So I could put that in there, and then they have to distinguish, okay, is this kinetic or potential? And it's that ambiguity where they have to justify their reasoning, even though it could be both in this case. So there's something, we can do this with a variety of activities as well, but sorting and classifying. So I'm going to have it stop right there. But I could say, um, give me the steps to the water cycle. And we'll see what comes up here. All right, so we have this, and now I wonder, say, can you rewrite that water cycle in language a 5-year-old could understand? And then we have something that maybe we can use to help this right here. But we could say, write the steps of the water cycle, but put them uh, incorrect order. All right, so we could give this to students and have them, kind of identify that. I could say, write the steps of the water cycle, leave out one step, and incorrectly define another step. Now we're doing even higher level thinking, right? Where we're uh, missing a step, and then one of them has been incorrectly defined. So now we can give this to our students to kind of work with here. So that's an example of using that for processes and giving our students higher level things to work with and identify. We could do something like provide me with 2 explanations of how, let me say 3, with 3 explanations of how evaporation and boiling are different. Make sure that they are convincing and detailed. 2 of the explanations should be incorrect. Let's see what happens with this. All right, so I got some explanations, and obviously my incorrect ones aren't that great. So maybe I do need to revise. We'll say provide me with, let's say here, with 3 paragraphs or 3 explanations of how boiling and evaporation are different. Write 2 of the explanations incorrectly, but make sure that they sound very convincing. All right, now these 2 incorrect ones are a little bit more detailed and sound a little bit more convincing. And now I can have students talk about this and discuss which one they think is correct and justify their reasoning. So there's a lot of ways that we can generate certain things that would lead us to higher order thinking. We can generate those activities very quickly, so it does not take as much prep for us, and we can continue to use these examples because we can just create new ones. So sometimes we can only do like one example because it's a pretty big one. Uh, and we don't have the time to create another one or the thought process to create multiples. But with a tool like ChatGPT, we can easily get different examples that can allow our students to think at a high level.